Welcome back to Oudda Pocket Podcast, guys. My name is Steven.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Serge, and this is our boy,
Donnie.
Donnie. At Donnie Goodman on Instagram.
2 N's.
2 N's. Thank you for coming on Oudda Pocket, bro. It's nice to see you. It's been a while.
It has.
How have you been?
I've been good, bro. Been good. Just living.
Tell us like what you've been up to in the last couple months. I know we went to North Carolina a couple months back. Thank you, by the way. We can go into that later. But how has life been post North Carolina and then now recently with the hurricane?
Yeah, I think it's been crazy for everybody, bro. Just like freaking Category 5 hurricane just ravaged through the area, bro.
All
So
of
like
us, bro.
everybody's life kind of got like, you know, messed up for a little bit and like, you know, off the schedule, off the rhythm. So yeah, just getting back to normalcy the last, you know, couple months. Just my office for my business, all the windows got blown in, so that was a thing. And then just a lot of like revelation on different things in life coming out of the hurricane. So just a lot of
it's definitely a humbling experience.
Since we last talked.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute.
Yeah, bro.
I know I saw you at the gym though. That one time.
When was
That one time.
That one we saw.
He
Like
was
that one time where you
mesmerized.
got there in the morning, and then you're like balling it up. I was like, damn, this man showed up.
Oh yeah, bro.
Cause that was when like you started getting on your gym wave.
Yeah, and then I get off and then back on and off again.
Yeah.
I'm doing cycle bar now though.
What's that?
What's that?
It's like the classes with like all the Peloton bicycles, and you would think it's like 47-year-old moms that do it. There is 47-year-old moms. It mainly is 47-year-old moms. But bro, like it's like crazy workouts. Let me show you. I did one today. It's a 45-minute workout, and it was 20 miles.
Of
20-mile workout.
Damn, and about how long does that take you?
45 minutes. And
45.
I burned 940 calories, bro.
wow.
That's
Jesus.
insanity, dog.
Today?
Yeah, today. Yeah,
You can't sleep on that. How long have you been doing that for?
like a month. It's
Nice.
fire though. You guys should check that out. But yeah, doing good.
Good to hear.
That's good, bro. So, I've known you since high school. You're a year ahead of me. And after graduating, I know you have a story, with everything. I wanna let you get into it in a little bit. But you started your own business. You were doing great for a while. And so, do you want to kind of just fill us in? Like, what are you about? What have you been up to? Like, what was Donnie Goodman's empire?
Yeah. So for me, I played baseball my whole life. I started playing at 6 and played all the way up until high school. I played some basketball too, but like that wasn't my main thing. And long story short, I was talking to a couple like JUCO colleges for, baseball. I was a pitcher. And then my senior year, I was playing basketball. And in like 5 games in the season, I ended up like landing weird. And I ended up fully tearing my ACL and my meniscus. And so that was really tough, especially, I put a lot of my identity in like sports and that being, a main thing for my life and, kept me active. And, when you're active and you're getting in good shape and you're really working hard on your craft like that, you're feeling good about it and you just feel good, and yeah, so that my senior year, that kind of like took me out completely. So I kind of found myself, senior year, supposed to be like the best year you have, you're getting ready to go into college and you're supposed to be all, hyped and it's like a fun time and
For
you're
sure.
happy, but it was like one of the most like depressing times for me. And so yeah, that happened. It took me out of my senior year of baseball and, obviously that's not the path God had for me, but it wasn't easy at all. So yeah, I was kind of like depressed for a while, and then we go into like the last couple months of my senior year, I'm like 18, 19, whatever. And I've always been interested in business, And I even explored a couple options before high school graduated, like real estate, drop shipping, which was like really big at the time.
Yeah.
And there's a couple people that like actually made it in this area with like drop shipping and in real estate. But nobody would like put me on, you know, it's kind of like nobody would open any doors. And so I was like, bro, why don't they believe in me? Like I believe in me, you know?
I feel like,
yeah.
sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But I feel like people tend to gatekeep a lot, you know, for success.
For sure.
And
one, I don't mean to cut you
go
off.
ahead, go ahead.
I understand that. I understand that a little bit better now. Both sides of that. You know what I mean? Of people kind of keeping it low key and not wanting to like let everybody in and share everything they've learned. And on the same end, like, you know, kind of like mentoring and just being open to help other people out. So I get both ends of that now. But
because there's gonna always be a lot of people that want to know, but it's just because they want the easy way out.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a certain kind of person to, like, even after they know the sauce, to actually be willing to put in the work and dedicate themselves to making it
and
through.
I think that's what stops a lot of people that are like successful from like giving up information. Like people who are DMing him, like, bro, let me pick your brain. Like, you know, a lot of those people that are saying that, a lot of them won't go and like take action on what you're telling them. Like I've had like countless people DM me, and it's like there needs to be like a value exchange in some sort there, like versus you saying like you need to go and, you know, like, hey, like I want to pick your brain, like, hey, like let me do some calls for you, and in exchange like learn a little bit about the business. But we can talk more about that in a little bit later. But so I found myself, I stumbled across towards the, like this was like the last month of senior year, I stumbled across network marketing, like MLM, like Amway or like IML, like I think you guys know about that stuff. And I just like caught a vision for, you know, like what could be possible in business, and just like learning more about like personal development. And the first business I got into, like this is like before we even graduated, it wasn't like somebody's like cousin who's like DMing you on Instagram like, hey, you free at 7 p.m. for this call tonight? My mentor, he makes $90 million a month. You know, like, can you get on? It was like somebody who like was actually successful. So I was like, and this guy in Fort Myers, he's in his 40s, and like multi-millionaire. So like, and this guy would like, I would talk to him on like a weekly basis. So that was really cool. And it kind of like opened me up to like the processes you need to have to be successful, and like how's the way people think. They're like that. And so, yeah, like I graduated high school. I was bartending and serving for a while. And then I started college. I did like my first semester, but I was just like, forget this. Like,
You didn't like it?
No, not at all. I think my best grade in class was like a 17 or something like that. Like I was there for like 3 weeks, and then I just like completely checked out.
It felt off
to you.
Checked out.
What made you make the decision to just like, I'm done with this?
Bro, belief. Like I just, you know, like we're in America, like you can make something happen. You know what I mean? Right. And like it's action-backed confidence. It's not like people that be posting like 30 times a day about like manifestation and like, you know, like I'm gonna make it happen. Like all my haters are gonna see. Like, bro, the people that are posting on Instagram aren't the ones like doing stuff. It's like
the quietest
you know
people.
It's the people that are just like
down.
You don't even know really what they be on.
Let me ask you a question. So, and I have a follow-up question. But prior to getting into what you started doing in terms of career, explain to us like what it was like to get out of that sad period of your life, because I know we all go through a lot of things in life that can push us down and can almost make you want to do the opposite thing that is progressive to your growth.
Yeah. So,
you know, it's not easy to always choose the right thing to try to be better. So what did you do in that scenario to grow, to do better?
You mean like with my injury and stuff like that?
Like with your injury, because, you know, that was probably very devastating to you because you were hoping to play professionally or at least go to college for it. At that point, you had to pivot and you had to look, you know, at a different direction, and you probably were asking yourself, why me? Like, why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
And that can crush people, you know, like something that you worked for your whole life. So what helped you get out of that? And then, you know, how did that lead to Offer Trust?
Yeah, for sure. I think like divine timing, you know what I mean? Just, I remember I was done with sports and I was just like serving and bartending at a restaurant. This was still like the end of senior years. I think this was like, this was like a couple months after my surgery, and I just had, it was really like I started listening to some business stuff because I knew that I was interested in the business stuff. So I think just exploring and really just looking at the reality. I think you have to be like realistic of like where you're at and what's happened to you. Like I was just realistic about, hey, like sports are completely done, And I think you see a lot of people that don't ever grasp the reality.
Some people never let go.
Done. Like you see, like I'm at City of Palms, you got these dudes that are vicariously living through their kids.
If I hadn't hurt my knee, I'd be playing pro.
I would have been in the league if I didn't tear my meniscus. It's like,
It'd be like that.
It's like, bro, like it's done with. Like get on to like your next stage of your life, And but there's like sadness in that too, because
for sure.
people had hopes and dreams and desires
There's a lot of
that didn't
regret.
get met. And a lot of people never can get past that. Like we see it in so many people, a relationship, a career that didn't work, a sport, playing sports and it just didn't work. Like it's sad, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like it's important to just like, where am I at now? What's the reality right now? And I think I was sad and like, depressed and like, that's okay.
Right.
And I let myself feel that. But after I felt it and like was in it for a while, I was like, all right, what's the reality? That doesn't mean like, I think that there needs to be like a genuine, like you have to feel your feelings around it. It's not, I feel like people are so quick to not even like process stuff and be like, oh, fuck that, I'm not in sports. Like what is, but it's like, like be sad about it. It's like, it's not like a one day thing. It's like, it was a couple month thing for me. And then at a point I was just like, where am I at? Where are my other interests? Okay. I like business. I like flipping stuff. You know what I mean? So I just was like, this is really where I want to go in the next chapter of my life.
Nice.
I have a follow-up question. So we have a couple younger viewers, and in that moment, I'm sure you were experiencing a lot of confusion. You didn't know what the next step was. Right now, I know, society likes to push kids towards college. That's a safe route, the standard route. But you're a great example of someone that can make it without going down that traditional route. So what would you say to, people that are confused at the moment and looking towards their future and maybe college might not be for them?
My first thing I'll say, because I used to crap on college completely and be that guy, is I think there's definitely value in it. But I think you got to look at a couple things. I think you got to look at one is if what you're doing like genuinely needs a degree, like bro, you're not about to come over here and be in court and be an attorney and like you don't have a degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the obvious.
I wouldn't
It's
trust
like
that guy.
doctors. Yeah, like you wouldn't trust homie to like represent you and like get you out of catching a case.
Replace your knee.
Yeah, bro. Like, and so like a doctor, lawyer, all that. Obviously, yes. But I would say other than that, you got to look at where we're at. You can make something happen. There's not a lot of people that are willing to work hard. And that's the thing is like, I used to think like the way that I worked wasn't enough. I had some shame of like, I'm not enough. I'm not working hard enough. But then and all you guys are like that. Like all you guys work hard. And I think the thing you'll find, especially like with being in sports and being competitive and just being a person that like wants to win, like you'll see like through the years, you'll be like, bro, like I'm working hard enough and you just go light years ahead. But I think it's scary at first because you don't have any of the success yet. It's scary to like look at somebody that's, what everybody's doing in college and that's what you're supposed to do. And so it's easier to just go that route. It's scarier to be kind of a lone wolf and like do your own thing, but it's worth it and like it's possible and like I'm an example of that. And you don't have to know everything to get started. You just got to get started and like just take action steps. Like basically, it sounds like super cliche, like some like motivational business guy. And then my third thing I would say is I wish I went to back to college, or the only thing I wish I would have done differently if I did go back to college, or wait, how do I say this the right way? The only reason I wish I would have went to college is if I went to a really good college that the networking was like immaculate. Like we're talking like UF, like these big colleges, there's a lot of people there that are going to be very successful. So it's like those being your peers in college, those are people like just the networking is A1. So I would say that's like a big thing too, is like who can you meet?
How has networking like provided value to you, and also how did that lead to Offer Trust?
I mean, it's everything, man. Like, business is lonely, so like having people around you that you can lean on and trust on, that, you know, if you have a deal that's going south, you can hit them up, be like, hey, do you have somebody to buy this deal? Do you have somebody for this, for that? I think is just really important. And what was the second question?
Like, how did like, you know, after some time after, you know, you dropped out of school and stuff like that, you started a company called Offer Trust.
Yeah.
What was the company, like, what did you do? And like, you know, to my knowledge, that was one of your biggest, like, you know, that was a big accomplishment, I'd say.
Yeah,
like,
man.
you know, like, it was something that, like, a lot of us would talk about, and we were very, like, impressed and, like almost, like, vicariously proud, you know? It's like someone, like, local that we know is doing something that, like, we all kind of want to do.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. So I'll just go from like where I stopped, where we started talking, and then to that is, so I ended up dropping out of college after like one semester. I just went to FSW, and I was still doing network marketing. And then a buddy of mine that actually went to Mariner my freshman year, and then he transferred out. You know, like in biology class, like the double tables.
Yeah.
The lab tables.
He was like, he was one of those kids, bro. He was like super eccentric, like super weird. But you're just like, bro, I feel like this kid's like a genius or something. Like he's just like that kid in class. So I was nice to him, you know. And then he ended up leaving, and like we followed each other on Instagram and stayed in touch. And I remember seeing him, like he's posting like him in front of houses, him with like a Lamborghini, like with like we buy houses signs and all this. I'm like, bro, this dude's in real estate already. He's like 17. Like, damn. What is this? And this was like sophomore year of high school. And so we ended up, this was towards the end of 2019. So this was like 3 years ago, like on the month. We reconnected through Instagram, and he basically said like, hey, I see you're doing the business stuff. Even though, I wasn't making any money. I was making like $20 a month or something like that. But I was learning a lot, you know, about like communication and stuff. And he was just like, he's like, hey, bro, like, you know, why don't you come to my house and like we can talk like business and all that. And I was just interested in like what he had going on. I was like, bro, like, if he's in real estate already, like I'm really gonna listen to him, maybe even like see if like I can just work with him, you know. And so I ended up meeting with him, and he was 19 years old at that time. So this is about 2 years after I started seeing him post content. And he told me that year he already made 6 figures. He had 4 rental properties. And like this dude's like he's like 19, you know what I mean? So
19.
Yeah, so it was like proof of concept already. And then I remember I was like, all right, this is it. And then I started spending time with him the first like a couple weeks after we had met, and I went to a closing he had for a property, and he got a check for $18,000. One deal. And I was like, all right. I was like, bro, that's it. I was like,
You're
that's
like,
it.
I want that.
It was done. Like, it was already done in my head. Like me, like being, you know, being in real estate and being a real estate investor or whatever. So yeah, long story short, I worked with him for about 9 months. The values just didn't really align. I had another partner too, who, you know, we ended up cutting ties. I don't really speak with him either. And, yeah, I ended up going on my own August of 2020. That's where Offer Trust started, and I had that business up until about a month ago, and built that to 7 figures.
Insane. Yeah,
7-figure business. We'll do about $1 million this year. Last year we did multiple 6 figures, and it's what we did was wholesaling real estate. So essentially, instead of flipping the house itself, we would just flip the contract. So it's basically like a sales and marketing business. Like we would reach out to sellers and directly, like if you got like your parents' house, like your parents got a house in Cape, like we would be calling your parents being like, hey, you interested in selling? And then try to negotiate over the phone, get it under contract, send them a DocuSign. We did it all over the computer. We wouldn't even go out to these people's houses. And then essentially we get that first contract, and then we would just try to bring in a cash buyer who's somebody who's like the flipper, the HGTV guy, whatever. And then we would just assign the deal to them. So we flipped the contract to them. Let's just say we got it at 100 with the seller. We told the buyer, hey, we got this good deal, 125, you can have it. They give us 125. We make that, that money in between. So, yeah, it was a good business, man. Learned a lot. Learned my limitations, went past my limitations a lot as a person. And, yeah, it's been great. Like, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about leading people. I've learned what I am. I've learned what I'm not. We had almost 15 employees with that full time. So like it got decently.
You
big
scaled it up pretty large.
Period. And that's only in a year. Like last year, this time I had one employee. So it, in like a 6-8 month span, and there's some good and bad in that. And like, we can talk about that. That's pretty much it.
Let me ask you how. I feel like, a lot of times we don't know what we're digging ourselves into when we start something. And I feel like maybe that's like something to say the least in this scenario. How was the growth affecting you as a person, and what were some of the biggest challenges you faced with having your own business, with having all that pressure on you? Because at that point, like, you started something. Like they say that it's always hard. It's not starting it that's hard. It's maintaining it.
For sure. Yeah. All I'll say is like, if you're not a healthy leader, like you're not going to lead other people.
There's no longevity.
You're going to harm other people. And so for me, there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad too. I found that, it fueled my addiction, like to power, money, all those things. I mean, I had my first $100,000 plus month at 6 months after I turned 21. So, I mean, a 21-year-old making over $100,000 in a month, you know what I mean? Like, that's not normal. And, it's manageable. But for somebody like me who, I didn't have any rich parents, anything like that. There was a lot more that came with it than I thought, than just the money being in the bank account. Oh, don't even think about it. Just keep the business going. There's a lot more that came with it, of just pressure, of people not understanding, of getting to a point where you're not even relatable to other people anymore. There's really a lot of people that don't understand you because your issues are like way different. Like, oh, I have this $15,000 lawsuit going on, and I have, oh my God, I'm spending $60,000 this month, and we only have $20K coming in. There's nobody else that's like 21, 22, or very little amount of people that understand that. And it's like where people are, and I just can't stand this, bro, like victim mindsets. Like a lot of people are younger, are like worried about like their coworker and like something they said. Like I'm over here worried about like, how do I like keep this ship like a sail without a partner? It was literally just me as a CEO and 15 employees. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that came with it. Anxiety for one, just fear every day when you wake up, like you have to perform. It's like a game, so
there's nobody really waking you up anymore, nobody keeping you accountable except for yourself.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, there's nobody that really can, it's just like yourself. Like, it's me who started it, and it's just me who's going to keep it going. Like, nobody can do it for you. So
I have some questions, backtracking a little bit. This is, most of the problems once you had reached success. But I remember going to one of your seminars, and you were talking about when you were first getting started, there was months before you got your first contract, right? Mm-hmm. And so what would you say is the key to staying disciplined enough to get that, delayed gratification, because a lot of people right now, they want the W's immediately. They want everything to come handed to them. So, like, what kept you going?
Mm-hmm. I think, like, I think at first, I just feel like a lot of people, like, they have too short of a timeline. They think in terms of, like, a couple months. If, like, let's say they're going to the gym for, like, 3 months and they don't see results, like, they're just done with it. Or, like, even 2 months. Like, bro, to be honest, I mean, not you guys, but, like, a lot of people, like, they'll go to the gym for, like, 2 weeks and they'll just stop completely, or, like, a week. Like, they'll meal prep 7 days a week, 2 hours in the gym each day.
And then burn out.
And then they'll post it on their Instagram story. How long are they doing that for? About damn near a week and a half. Like, that's it. So I think for me, just having more of a, looking at it from more of a long-term view. And just like, bro, like, even if this takes me 6 months to get a deal, like on the other end of this deal is like a $10,000 check or $20,000 check or, you know, all that. And so just like wanting to see that, I wasn't going to not see it through.
How did faith play a role into that? So as in, first off, faith in yourself, but also your faith in Christianity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, that's a good question. Yeah, during that time, I was going through a lot with like ex-girlfriend, family, stuff like that. Like
human things everybody goes through.
Everything that like could go wrong did, and so I just got to a point where I was like, bro, I can't like do this by myself anymore. Like I need to like have faith in something else because your boy ain't doing it. So yeah, I think prayer is important, man. I think just like being able to like take the load off of yourself and being able to just have faith in something other than yourself is good, you know, because we can only do so much, you know, we can only control like our actions, our attitudes. So for me, having a relationship with God just made it to where I was, you know, having faith in him, not in like my own abilities and not my own, you know, things that I would accomplish. And you know, I mean, that's part of the journey too, is getting away from that and like where that got me to too, you know, further into different things I didn't want to be in. And you know.
Like I remember, like first off, for context, a couple months back I had a friend named Sebastian. He's still my friend, but
I was about to say,
yeah, he's still got. He's
y'all
good,
friends no more?
No, he's my friend. Our friend Sebastian. You guys were working on videos together, and at that point I was really close with him. And I don't know, somehow, but I got invited to this trip to North Carolina, which for me was probably one of the best experiences like I had in a long time, and I needed it. So,
Yeah.
And like I told you a bunch of times, but from the bottom of my heart, like I'm always so grateful for that, because like you, not only like was it a good trip because like to just get away from everything, because I had a lot of things going on, but also for the first time in a long time I prayed too. Like I sat outside with you and we would do the Wim Hof breathing exercises every morning, and then we would read the Bible. And like I'm not one to practice too much, if I'm being honest. You know, I have faith and I believe, but I don't practice as much as others. But you know, during that time I really enjoyed it because I feel like you provided a lot of wisdom. But also during that time I also sensed that you were going through a lot yourself too, you know, because that trip was mainly for you. How did, I guess, you know, how has life affected you after that trip? Have you made any progress in yourself? And if you want to give some context to the guys, you can.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, bro, I'm so happy you went on that trip, bro. And you're a gift, man. Like your presence is a gift, and
Stop.
dude, I'm trying to make you blush, bro. But yeah, no, like your presence was a gift, man. I'm happy you came.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, during that time, like this was in June. I already made, you know, a lot of money in the year, and I was speaking at events. Like I was doing everything like I wanted, was the goal, you know what I mean, being like a 21, 22-year-old. And bro, I was just so fucking empty, bro. I was so empty. I didn't fucking understand what was going on, and I was just having such a hard time, you know what I mean, like such a hard time. I'm talking like panic attacks like almost on a daily basis. Like it just got bad. And yeah, like I mean, even to a point like I would wake up like trying to like grasp for like breath. Like I would like wake up like that. Like,
with the anxiety,
like
it was
like
closing in on you.
Crazy. Yeah, man. And I didn't understand it, you know. And since then, I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work, like recovery work, like working. I have like a coach that I work with now, just to dive into my past, to dive into, you know, what are some of those like codependencies I went to, which codependency is basically like, you know, trying to manipulate the way that you feel on the inside by, you know, people, places, or things on the outside, right? And there's everything. Everybody's codependent. everybody has their thing. Some people have power and money and fame. Some people it's drugs. Some people it's alcohol. Bro, everybody has them. And for me, it was like business. It was power. It was all these different, some other things. And I just realized that it was a coping mechanism. You know what I mean? For a lot of things, for a lot of like toxic shame of like not feeling like I was enough. So I wanted to not be needy, and I was like, oh, fuck people, I don't care about anybody, because I was hurt in relationships. So I wanted to just go and be this big business person and just focus on my, my thing. And something too is like, a lot of people, like, there's a lot of like posts about this of like, forget everybody, like just work on your own life and stuff like that. Like, bro, that's not reality. Like, that'll get you really lonely and isolated. You need relationship, like you need people. And I was just at a point in my life, like I didn't have a lot of safe people. So to your question, like I'm doing a lot of work. I mean, to a point where like I closed down my business, but in a good way, like of like my healthy shame. Like I'm limited, like I don't have the capacity to run a business right now, and I don't want to run a business. You know what I mean? Like I was miserable doing it.
That's very respectable, though.
Yeah.
Like I respect first off that you were open about it first off, because that's already like a step that's just already a step forward towards the goal. Like I know that it's like always a work in progress, where none of us are ever where we want to be in, and if you are, then you're not doing it right. So first off, I respect that a lot. And I think that you kind of are at where I kind of am striving to be, whereas you've already had a taste of the good stuff, So now,
A little bit.
like it's kind of like if you've never tried like that like delicious food, you'll never know how amazing it is. But now you've already tried it, so now you kind of have a little bit of an idea of how to get there, and you kind of know how to indulge in it.
Yeah.
But to kind of like asking an official question, like, you've already had an attempt at building something successful. Do you think you're more well equipped now to do something like this again in an endeavor that you're more passionate about?
100%, yeah.
Like do you feel what are some obstacles that you feel like you cleared, or that like you aren't as worried about? Does that make sense?
Can you say that again?
Like are there any obstacles that like you feel like you're more well prepared for that you weren't as the first time?
Yeah, I would say just like organizational stuff, like building a team. How do you incentivize sales? Like sales, stuff like that. I think that's like my strong suit.
It sounds like in terms of business, like you really sharpened it to a T, like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
and like
sure.
What you really needed to work on was a lot of internal things, how to cope with it, because like you were saying, not a lot of 20, 21, 22-year-olds have tasted that level of success. And so I feel like next time you come around, you're going to be so much more prepared for it, because at the end of the day, it's like you're not a machine, you know what I mean? If you're not good, you can't run a business well. And so that's awesome that you're taking steps, forward, because some people would stay miserable for even longer, and then, eventually that could waterfall down to like your staff and everybody else that was counting on you. So
yeah, it's all how you show up to it. You know what I mean? Cocaine isn't addictive, it's the person that's addictive. So it's like it is addictive, but so it's both. It's both, right? It's both, right? I don't want to create no drug addict out here, bro. But it's like how you show up to it. It's like how you show up to like work. It's how you show up to different things. It's like you can either become like super obsessive to a point where it's like really unhealthy, or you can like have healthy boundaries and like be like, this is what I'm doing, but it's like not who I am, And I think that's like my biggest distinction now is like anything I show up to, like I have the awareness of like what it got me to, which was just like isolated, like miserable, like all those things. So it's like I'm going to show up differently. I think that's like the biggest awareness part to it. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome, bro. Segueing a little bit, I've been seeing lately you've been posting about the movie you directed.
Yeah.
A little creative project. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I was in a float pod like 9 months. I know that's probably how you didn't think I was gonna start. I was in a float pod.
What is that? Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
You did the spa.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I gotta put y'all on.
Is it
bro.
one of those like bubble things that you're just like.
It's
in
not a
there?
bubble.
Like
It's a
Huckleberry
pod.
chain?
It's
Like
a
the
pod.
sensory
Yeah,
deprivation?
It's like a chamber type thing. Yeah. And essentially, you just like it's like 1,000 pounds of like magnesium salt, and you just float at the top of it. It's like very dense water, and bro, it's so good for like just different thoughts and like calming your mind, so like you can think about different things, like important things, you know. And I use that a lot as a tool, like in business. And they have one at Fort Myers. It's called Cloud9 Float Spa. Shout out to Lynn, the owner.
Hey, Lynn, you know, put that.
You better give me a
fucking on.
percentage off if I bring anybody from this episode. But
Yeah. Hey, yo, shout out to
Tell
Lynn
them Donnie
at
sent you.
what's it called?
Cloud9 Float Spa.
Cloud9 Float Spa. If you want to sponsor us, you know, we're more than welcome to promote you guys as much. You know, I could use a little bit of
She might. I'll talk to her.
therapy.
But yeah, I was just like in the float spa, and I just like, bro, I felt boxing creatively. I think we're, I mean, not even in, like, this sounds cliche, but like we're all creators, you know what I mean? And we got to have different outlets. And I just felt like at a point earlier this year, like I was boxed in business, and like I wanted to like create something visual, you know, like clothes or like a film or something like that. So yeah, I was like in the float spa, like floating, and then it just like came to my head, like in the Bible there's these like verses. It's like a time for everything, and it's that's what it's titled, and it's like a time to die, a time to, you know, time to be born, time to die, time to plant, time to pluck up what is planted. It's just like really poetic. So I was like, yo, this is dope. And then I just thought of a bunch of like visuals in my head at one time that would look like really sick. So like the voiceover of like those verses, and then like a bunch of visuals. And I ended up about 8 months late. No, like 6 months later, I found the videographer for it. He's a guy out of New York City. And like I saw some of his content, and I was like, this guy is crazy. So I flew him down from New York City, and we ended up shooting it in like 2 days, and everything was local too. Like I wanted to be local and like make people understand too. Like you can be
connected to you.
Yeah, like, but like you can make something like dope around here too. I feel like people
Yeah.
leave and go and do something else. It's like, nah, it's like you can do it where you're at. And I ended up getting Bad Bunny's. He edits his music videos to do the effects on the whole film.
What?
Yeah, I didn't really tell anybody that.
Yo,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So-
Dog.
Yeah, he's crazy. Like, and so that palm tree that's on fire and a couple other things in it, he tweaked up. And I was DMing him, and he was like really quick. He's really dope. Shout out to Juan.
Yo, Juan, also, if you want to collab, hit us up at
Yeah, so yeah, I got like an NBA player in it too, bro, to like play basketball in it. So that was sick. Shout out to Emmett from the Clippers.
Emmett.
Um,
I'm on the pod.
So yeah, bro, it's just sick, and like a lot of people came together and like supported and like were there when I need them to be, and bro, it ended up coming out sick, so I'm like really happy with it. And I put a lot of money into it. Like it wasn't like something that was cheap either. Like I wanted it to be really good. So yeah, man.
Facts. Where can people find it?
My IG, Donnie Goodman, 2 N's. That's it, bro. I don't even know
Do you want to go into
my
it?
freaking username, bro.
What about it?
Dude, you were there
biggest-
when this happened, bro.
Like, that was, first off, you had a horrible chain of events. Like, we
I
ran,
know, bro.
like, for context, we ran out of gas twice. Once,
Oh, on the trip?
once
I got
on-
I got a speeding ticket for like going like 55 over on accident.
Did we run out of
on
gas
accident.
before or
On
after
accident.
that?
On accident. My boy, you was a menace.
Yeah, I was at on accident, bro.
Bro, that was a trip, dude. But as far as the IG name, I got at Donnie on IG. I bought it from a guy, and I was talking to him for months. I was trying to like build trust and rapport with him, and I got him to give it to me for like a super dumb low price. Because usernames, bro, it's like a business.
Yeah, no, it
How much
definitely
How much does
is.
the username run for?
Like
like
Donnie at Donnie, I paid $1,200 for it. But
Wow.
bro, like, dude,
Steal.
like they're like usernames go for crazy, and like anybody that you see that's big, like there's this guy,
Okay.
he's the CEO of Fashion Nova. His username's like @John, bro. So it's like clout, you know, it's like clout.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
If you're posting
Usually it's
content,
shorter.
bro. Having a name with just your first name, like that's like
Oh,
something
More
yeah.
appealing to the eye.
Bro, like you already know somebody got followers, a blue check, all that. Like if they got like the first name, you know.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Bro, I had it, and then I had a swapper like try to swap the name for me because there's like a certain method, and he lost it, bro.
What?
A hacker took it.
Because there's a chance someone could snipe it from you.
And then
They
I ended up finding the guy who hacked and stole it. And I messaged him on Telegram, and he's like this like super Satanist like Korean dude, and his at name was like Iblis, which is like a satanic warrior or something. And I messaged him, and I was like, I don't know anything about anime, but I was like calling him like different things, like what was one of the things I was calling him? I don't remember. But I was like learning like the lingo so that I could like have like a relationship with him. Like he wouldn't dude, he wanted $6,000 for it, bro.
What?
So I was like, yeah,
Tripping.
I'm gonna leave.
Cut my losses. Jesus.
I'll keep the underscore in my username.
Yeah, so that was a big L, and I was so mad. And then Instagram deleted my account. They disabled my account too. So
For what?
I don't like for doing that swap thing. It was like super sketchy to them, and like they detected it or whatever. So yeah, I had it. I lost it. Hopefully, it comes back into my presence
One day.
in my hands, but I don't know.
I believe it will.
I believe it.
Hopefully, bro. Fingers crossed. At Donnie.
Speaking of movies, a lot of movies have been coming out recently. Big one is Wednesday. Is that what it's called?
Well, that's
No,
a series. That's a Netflix series. But yeah, it's number 1 on Netflix right now. It beat
Okay.
the Dahmer series, which was popping for a little bit.
Are you into any shows? Like, do you watch anything? No. I feel like, bro, I cannot get
YouTube,
into, like, much shows.
Sports, like if you're gonna consume content, what's like your go-to?
TikTok.
I like basketball stuff.
Basketball stuff.
Basketball, bro.
Who's your team?
I don't got a team.
You don't
bro.
got a team?
Yeah, just be watching it.
Just whoever's
enjoy it.
popping.
Games too and stuff like that.
I
It's
saw
valid,
your
that's
story
valid.
a couple like weeks ago. Weren't you at like an Orlando Magic game?
Yeah, I went to a couple.
Weren't you like courtside too or something?
Yeah.
Bro, I was like
Two
I
times.
I opened it up and I'm like, bro, what?
That's
Like
Yeah,
randomly
I was
like
talking to the
courtside.
players, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who was the
I talked
coolest
to
guy?
Kawhi, fun guy.
That's
For
what
real?
I saw. That's what
Yeah,
I saw.
bro.
Ain't no way.
What did he say?
Not like, I mean, bro, he don't barely talk, bro. Yeah. He was like, I was talking to him, and it was his first game being back, and I was like, Kawhi, bro, like we're really happy to have you back, man. I was like, hope you play good. He's like, thanks, man. He didn't laugh. He just said the last 2 words, but that would have been hilarious.
Legendary. What a guy.
Bro, I would wish to go courtside. I feel like that's
Dude,
an
it's
experience.
crazy, bro. Like, especially in a big arena, like you just look up and it's like the Jumbotron. You got these players that are like 6'10", like players that are the best in the world. Like imagine
yeah.
like, you know, Messi, but you're like 2 feet away. Like you could touch him.
No,
bro.
that's insanity.
Well,
Like
insane,
and
man.
dude, like the ball came out of bounds a couple times. I just picked it up, just gave it to the ref, like gave it to the player.
Wow.
Like, dude, it's like surreal.
What a good Samaritan.
I know. I should have kept it and like put it
Bro.
up here. I got a baby.
We're not allowed to take them, are we?
Nah,
No,
usually they
you
make
can,
you give them back.
It's like
Get your ass kicked
it's
out.
not like baseball where you can take the balls. Same with like
sucks.
soccer. Bro, if I catch a ball at a game,
And it
bro,
was
I'm taking
kicked by
You know,
Messi?
during the Colombia-Brazil game, I caught the ball and I took a picture with it.
Yeah.
But they made me
Oh,
give
you
it
did?
back. They made me give it back. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Those balls are like a lot lighter than you expect them to be. I think they have like a certain percentage of helium in them.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit lighter than like the average match ball. But it was a cool experience.
Hey, next episode, we're gonna have to do a little celebration for Argentina. Just a little.
Messi campeón.
I'm gonna get like
Messi
a World Cup
campeón,
trophy.
Messi campeón.
You know, for those who don't know, Argentina won the World Cup. Argentina won in penalties. It was the best experience of my life, but also the most traumatizing experience of my life. I went tachycardic like 3 times, and
That was
I
a stressful
cried.
game, bro.
Very stressful game, but dreams were completed. You know, it was written in the stars. It was written in history. Now it's written forever.
Permanently in history.
I was being employee of the month while the game was going on, bro. I was like
You gotta-
streaming it off my phone. Somehow, like every person in Cape Coral needed pain at that moment, and I was like, yeah, let me go check in the back. Like sit there for 5 minutes. Like, oh shit, this is so intense.
Nah, you
But-
just got a couple minutes left on your
Yeah.
paint.
Facts.
Is that
Yeah,
what you did with
it's
me
shaking.
when I
It's
came in?
shaking.
Dude, it took a minute.
Hey, no,
It took
bro.
a minute, bro.
I was like multitasking. I was like having a good
Oh, that's what
conversation
you want me
and
to
like
think. That's what you
getting
want
it out of the way. Low-key, your buddy came in like 5 minutes before closing. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry too. But nah, cool people.
Does that piss you off when people come in like last minute?
Honestly, bro, yeah, it does. I'm not even gonna lie. Like last 15
Bro,
minutes, it's like, bro, you had all day. What you doing now? You know.
I'd be feeling bad whenever I go places. And
bro, it's like you go in there and you're like, sorry to be that guy. Like I swear I know. It's like, but you are that guy though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
What would you say like the limit is, like 20 minutes before closing?
Like at my store, it just depends though, because like, you know, on weekdays, like I have coworkers, but for example, Saturday, Sundays, I'm by myself. So I have this one guy, he always calls like 20 minutes before we close. Hey, can I have 100 gallons shaken up, please? It's like, dog, these 100 gallons divided by 5, that's 25. They're each 50 pounds. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro got me out here doing like the express workout, and it takes me like 30 minutes to close. So like, whatever time I go past, you know, our closing time, that's like, I'm there for a minute, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. That comes with every job. I mean, I know restaurant jobs, you know, on last call and everything.
Okay.
I hate being that person. I usually never do. Bro, like the other day I went with my friends to Five Guys, and I think it was like 25 minutes left till closing. But like they didn't wash like the grill or anything, so I was like, okay, we could go inside. But like I was like, bro, I don't know, this is pushing it, bro.
I feel like 25 is valid though. 25 is valid.
But like if I'm seeing them like start cleaning up the grill, you know, you see the smoke come up, I'm like, bro, I'm not going in there. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be that dude.
That's fair. I respect you for that.
Thank you, man.
Facts. So
you got a favorite drink?
Like alcoholic drink? Or
Yes.
I don't drink anymore. Yeah.
When'd you
Like at all?
When'd you stop?
Like probably like 3. I do drink, but it'll be like one.
Like occasional.
Like yeah, like one a month. Because that just became an issue too.
Yeah.
But what was like your go-to back then?
Bro, as freaking finance bro as this sounds, White Claw.
Really?
Get out of here! No, get out of here!
Or no, or High Moons too. Those are really. Oh wait, no, High Noon.
High
High
Noons?
Noon. Yeah.
High Noon is like the
High Noon, if you're listening.
Like
The
I mean,
higher
bro,
quality,
y'all are gonna
like,
get on me, but High Noons are like low key the same thing. Bro.
Nah. High Noon tastes better.
I feel like High Noons taste
Dude,
better, and they're
like-
less fizzy. Like the other ones are just too fizzy to the point where it's too much.
White Claws are like really syrupy, bro. That's the like one thing. It's like it's hella syrupy.
Did you try Happy Dads?
Not yet, bro.
No.
I would.
Are
I
they
would
good?
love to, though.
They're alright. Honestly.
Alright.
Like they were hyping them up.
I love
like,
No
a lot.
Boys, bro.
They're fucking cool.
No,
But they were hyping them
yeah.
up hella. They're alright to me, at least. But I don't really like seltzers
Did y'all
as
see
much
their
anymore.
interview with Billy McFarland, the guy who started Fire Festival?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Bro, it was so
Dude.
interesting.
So,
It was so interesting.
What is Fire Festival?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, Billy McFarland, what he did is he basically screwed himself over because he overpromised to throw this huge event on a private
So
island.
let me talk about it because
Where you
I've
going?
like what?
Where you gonna go?
No, dude,
Oh.
I was like 17, bro. I was like a freshman or a junior or whatever. Dude, basically like they bought this island in the Bahamas. It was called Norman's Cay. It's where all the Colombian drug dealers used to dock their planes at. So it's just a runway and a bunch of villas and like nothing else. Like it's not developed at all. So this was 2017. So he decides to buy this island. He was already like a businessman. He was young though. He was like 24, bro. And so he basically created this marketing video of like he got the top like 20 models in the world on this island. He got pigs on the island. He got yachts on the island. He got planes on the island. He got like scuba diving video, like, you know, everything that's like a luxurious experience. And he got all these models to like market it. It was just like a orange block that they post on Instagram. And everybody's like Fire Festival. And then they dropped this video. And dude, it just went viral. We're talking like the big, you know, Kendall Jenner and all this.
Gigi Hadid.
And it just went insane, bro. And this was the main issue. So it's like a music festival. It was like private villas. It was supposed to be like Coachella times 10 on an island. But he only gave them like 4 months to do it. So like where this is supposed to take like 3 years or 2 years, he bought this island and they only gave the staff like 4 months. And so long story short, they pulled up so that people, you know, it went to like the last minute and he never stopped. And he just kept, like, they were like in the red, like they didn't have any money left. And he just kept pulling money from investors and be like, this is where we're at with our finances, getting $3 million, coming back with $3 million from, you know, an afternoon lunch and keeping it going. And yeah, long story short, people pulled up to the island for the event and they were promised like they were going to be brought on like things and have luxury villas, and they pull up and they're brought to the island in a yellow bus, like a school bus.
A school bus?
They're promised these like 5-star meals. They're given like lunch boxes with like cheese sandwiches, like not melted, like not a grilled cheese, like
them school sandwiches.
They have like these little tents set up and nothing is done, bro. And it's a disaster, bro. It's like, it was so bad. So it was crazy. There's a documentary, and
that's crazy.
He ended up frauding investors for like $30 million, and he like just got out. So it was interesting. It's just crazy, bro. Like people like based off of video are willing to like pay for that stuff, and then they go to the island, like all these rich kids, and they get there give cheese sandwiches.
4 months though to prepare all of that.
Yeah, no, it was very like. They were stupid to even like think they could pull something off of that magnitude, like
in that sort
of time.
He would have done it. It was just the timeline.
His goal is to do it again, though.
Yeah,
he wants to do it again,
which I think he will.
Hey, let's pull up to the Fire Festival 2.0, bro.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's do it. I think it's called
insane.
Pirates Cove or something like that.
Like Pirate Festival.
Pirate Fest.
Pirate Festival.
It's like literally changed the F to a P. How the hell is this guy allowed to do this still? Shouldn't you be banned from like throwing festivals at this point, bro? Like. But I don't know.
He's in so much debt.
It's just funny. It's sad.
He's like Kobe, job's not done.
Yeah, I guess.
It's gonna happen, bro.
Do you guys have any thoughts regarding Kanye recently?
I know Donnie wanted to talk about Kanye.
Facts. What you think about Yeezy's behavior as of late?
Bro, I think he's misunderstood, bro.
Bro, I think so too, bro. I think so too.
I don't think people are getting the messages, bro. I don't think, like, if he's talking about, like, we're not going to talk about the Nazis. We're going to not talk about Hitler. I love Hitler. Bro, he's not okay, he is saying it. He actually is saying it. But, bro, there's a lot, like, I feel like under that with, like, the whole Jewish thing. And then, like, he did like, paparazzi. There was, like, a day he went out and he showed, like, all the Jewish businessmen of like the major networks, which is the media, right? The left. And so, yeah, bro, just who's the puppet master?
I mean, the reality is they do have a lot of power.
I feel like there's a lot that we're not understanding yet that he's showing us, and just, he's crazy as shit though.
I think
that's what I
he's
think,
super
bro.
crazy. Like, he's neurotic, bro. He's neurotic. He's not well. But he's not well, but he's a smart guy though, and so I feel like that just discredited everything I just said. But he's a smart guy.
But they can both be true though. They can both be true. They can definitely. I mean, he's a genius. He's proved it.
One genius that ain't crazy. I mean, he's
100%. 100%.
I feel like his approach could have been better, but maybe that's what the media needed for everybody to kind of hear the message.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole common thread here is that he's just trying to say that the media is controlling a lot of things and controlling the narrative towards what's being put out there in the market. You know, we see this a lot now with what happened recently with Balenciaga. We saw a lot of things happen with
Balenciaga.
So I lost my train of thought.
Man, I don't know. I'm on the same boat as Donnie with Kanye though.
But look, I think Kanye's a genius, but he definitely he said some things that maybe shouldn't have been said.
He definitely needs help. Yeah. Like, no sane person, who's been in the spotlight for as long as he has. He definitely has media training. He knows what he should and shouldn't be saying. Would go on and say, like, oh, Hitler, this and this and this. And so, like, people like to call him crazy. They like to discredit him. And I believe there is a lot of truth to the things he's saying. But I feel like he invalidates his own thoughts by then going on to say, like, these crazy things. Like, did you hear about his outburst on Charlamagne's podcast?
About what?
So basically they were talking about Pete Davidson, and Kanye was pissed that Charlamagne was friends with Pete Davidson. You can look it up on YouTube. And then Kanye just starts screaming like, "My wife is getting dicked by Pete Davidson. He has a 10-inch dick." Like, bro, like you can hear he's on the verge of tears.
It's like, fuck. Too, bro?
Yeah, bro. It's like you lose a bad bitch, you go
like,
crazy, dog.
Dude, he's sad, bro. Like he's he's still going through with Kim K, bro. Like her like spirit got in him or something, bro.
Hey, bro, like you fumble a bad bitch, you go crazy, bro, for a little bit.
I would go crazy if my girl left me for Pete Davidson.
Sheesh. I mean,
bro, he's like.
I mean, I respect him a lot. He's a funny guy and everything, but I didn't mean it like that. But
I mean, he's the Rizzler. I mean, he's unstoppable right now. He's like the Messi of bitches. And at this moment,
he's conquering all these people, bro.
It's like, who gonna stop him? I saw something and it was like Jack Harlow and Pete Davidson right now, unstoppable. Yeah. Apparently Jack Harlow is with Dua Lipa at the moment.
He made the song too,
bro.
So that's a W.
That's manifestation right there.
That is.
So should I make a song called Selena Gomez?
Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to hop in this stew right now, bro. Today's the day.
Ronda Rousey.
Sheesh, that's your type, dog. She better put you in all types of positions.
Space. But do you guys have any recommendations for this week or anything? Or do you guys want to get into it?
I'm down to get into it, brother.
I can start it off. Depending on when this episode drops, my recommendations to look back on what you did this year and expect for more next year. Make a New Year's resolution. I like to make a New Year's resolution, like make a list. What we do is like, in Hispanic culture, you eat 12 grapes right when the new year and the new year. You eat 12 grapes and each grape counts as a wish or like something you want to do in that year and each month. So I like to make a list and slowly check off throughout the year what I've done and what I've didn't.
I think that's good. Like, so basically, like, to establish kind of like ahead of time, like your goals and what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I mean, it's like, I feel like we all need to reflect a lot on like the last couple of years. I feel like we've all individually gone through a lot of different things in terms of growth and experiences. So it's always good to like reflect.
No, and it will happen, bro. A lot of the things that I wrote down last year did happen, bro.
Good.
And it's like it just stays in the back of your mind, and then you like slowly get it done.
Yeah, it's just kind of like that's kind of like how the law of attraction also works. It's kind of like if you constantly are thinking about it, there's no way you're not gonna address it at some point. What about you, Serge? What's your...
Bro, honestly, my rec, because I was thinking about, like, you know, things that I've eaten, you know, things that I've consumed. My rec is, like, get a friend like you, bro. And so, like, going into it,
Dude,
you know,
right
like how Donnie was saying earlier, Stevie a gift for real, but no one, you know, no matter who you are, you can't do things alone. And it's important to, you know, keep your circle small, you know, the people that are really tight, but... I got out of work the other day. I hop in the car, you know, I'm having a decent day, you know, not the best day, not the worst day. And then, you know, I tell my phone, play Bad Bunny. And it's like the ultimate sad lineup, dog. It's like every heartbreak song you can imagine back to back. I'm not even gonna lie. By the time I was at my house, you know, I was fighting the tears a little bit. I was like, God damn, like this shit hitting. And I just texted Steven. I was like, bro, like I'm going through it right now. And then bro called me and then we just bullshitted for like 20 minutes. But it's just like, get like a bond, you know. A lot of friendships come and go, but like it's important to have like brothers in your life, you know what I'm saying? People that you know have your back no matter what. And so like, you know, just like really valuing your friendships and putting work and effort into them and letting them know you appreciate them. That's my rec, bro.
Wow.
For sure.
That's powerful.
Now, kid.
My rec was just to go watch Avatar.
Hey bro, that's a great rec.
Hey bro, but
did you watch it?
No.
But
this dude,
How you
bro.
gonna tell people to do that, bro?
Cause everybody I see posting on Instagram saying that movie's a 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, the 16th.
Everyone's saying it's 10 out of 10.
Wasn't it supposed to come out in like 2010?
Yeah.
They've been hyping it up for years.
Or no,
The
it came
first
out in
one
like
came out-
2010.
The
The
first one
original
came out in
2014
2011
or
or
something. It was like not supposed to be like 13 years later.
But now they have the next 4 lined up already.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-movie deal.
But like I don't know, I feel like sequels are never as good as the first. So for people to be saying it's a 10 out of 10, it's got to be something good.
I recently watched the first one because I
Oh,
want to
you
watch
watched-
the second one, and I completely forgot about the first one. It was like watching a new movie.
Was
But
it good?
dude, it was good, bro. It was good. It was really good. You can watch it on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus.
But I have Sergio's
I didn't
account
even know
now.
that. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was on Disney Plus, and I've always had Disney Plus, and I've been wanting to watch.
No,
it.
it's recently got added though. It hasn't always been on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I didn't know.
So yeah.
What about you,
Dom?
brother?
Jinx.
Y'all are deep on yours, bro. Pause.
Pause.
Bro, cycle bar, 20-mile runs, or bike rides, short distance, good cardio.
It's that good, bro.
Dude, it's fire, bro.
Yeah.
And then there's music too, like Drake, bro. Like they'll play like Drake.
Oh,
in,
like
a
to the
mix.
rhythm.
Where,
Yeah, and you have to like go to the rhythm, and it's like a super intense like instructor at the front, dude. And you're just
What's your
grinding.
go-to like Drake song?
Best artist of all time, bro? Hold up.
Depends
Actually, no, he's not best. He's one of the best. But, bro, there's just so many. It depends the era.
the era.
Depends the era, bro.
Depends the era.
where do you do the work? Where do you work out?
Like cycle bar or just
Yeah,
regular
yeah, yeah.
workout? It's in Naples.
It's in Naples.
Yeah, Mercado. Bougie shit.
Shout out Mercado.
Old soccer moms pulling out in like their Bentley trucks and stuff.
Hey,
Casual flex.
I like soccer
casual
and I
flex.
like moms.
Oh,
Sounds like a W to me. But yeah,
All right, boys.
this is a good episode,
Yeah,
bro.
facts,
Very
facts,
good.
facts. We
Uh,
definitely got into it.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for coming on. First
Yeah,
off,
bro.
like,
Facts, bro.
We're
It's
glad that we get to pick your mind a little today.
for sure. Bro.
chopping it up with the boy a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy to be on, and you know, I'm happy that people are, you know, especially that we went to high school together and stuff like that. Except you, Steven. But
yeah, I know.
I met you after, but you know, you guys are just creating, and I'm always for that, you know, and in support. So anything you guys need, bro, just let me know.
We appreciate that.
For
man.
sure, bro. And vice versa. We're always here if you need anything.
Where can people find you, and what are some things you got planned up for the future?
Just on IG, even though I'm off it, I'm trying to like fast a little bit, but still follow me. Donnie Goodman, 2 N's, not at Donnie anymore. Freaking pissed. But
Rest in peace.
yeah, and for the future, man, I mean, I don't know. I'm just taking it a day at a time. Whatever God has, living in, you know, my limits, like in my capacities right now. So, bro, I don't really have anything right now. I'm just reflect. Like I like how you said that, Eddie. Just like reflecting, because it's like, bro, like we can plan our plans, and you look at the end of the year, like you could be at a way different place than you even thought you would be at. Like, if I could have thought at the begin, if I would have thought like at the beginning of this year, like the focus I had for my business, like I just got into the office that you guys have been in, you know, was just like full throttle. Like now, just realizing like it's not what I thought it would be, and just kind of the point I got to, and letting it go like by the end of this year. So, you know, it's like we can make our plans, and I like that, reflecting, you know, on that, and just what you can take into the new year from what you learn. But too, like, just like, bro, like, you know, we make plans and God laughs. So it's just like, I'm like to a point, I'm like, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, bro.
Plan as much as you can, but
I might,
really,
like, freaking live in like Saudi. I was gonna say Saudi Arabia. That's probably one of the worst places you can go. Like, I don't know, bro. I could be in like, you know, like St. Tropez or something. You know, I don't know.
chilling in the Turks, brother.
Anywhere.
Yeah, Turks, get a new residence.
Facts. You might run into Drizzy over there, bro.
Let's
That's
go to
a goal.
Dubai.
Dude, let's do it.
Dubai is. Oh, I want to go to Dubai.
We're a little late. Oh wait, no, that was guitar. Never mind. Yeah, I deserve that. But thank you again for coming on, bro. Do you have any closing statements you want to say to the people?
I don't really have.
Hey, last Drake song, bro. Off the top.
Come on.
Off
Yeah,
the top.
yeah, off the top.
You just sing a line. You just sing the line.
Sing the line. Bro, just because today I was looking at this, y'all remember the Sprite commercial he did where like his face
Oh.
comes apart?
Yeah.
It may not mean nothing to y'all. Bro, I think, bro, Forever is such a good song,
Dude,
bro.
yes, bro.
That's a
Iconic.
classic.
It's like,
And then I would say, actually, forget that, bro. Pound Cake, dude.
Pound cake.
Oh.
Pound Cake, bro. Hardest beat of all time, dude. Hardest beat of all time.
I respect it, bro. I respect
Yeah,
it.
respect.
I was listening to that the other
Top
day,
5
bro.
pick for sure.
Yeah.
all right. And then on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode. This has been Oudda Pocket episode 36, I think. You guys can find us out on Instagram at Oudda Pocket, on YouTube Oudda Pocket Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And if you guys want to drop a comment or any questions that you want to see us dive into for other episodes or any other topics, just feel free to drop in the comments below. And yeah, that's been Oudda Pocket. And until next time, Oudda Pocket
out. Peace out, y'all.
See ya.